Parents, you send your kids to school to get an education, but is the education you send them to get being cut short? Students, are you really getting all that you come to get? Hey listeners, I'm Raven Douglas.
And I'm Kamari Shavers.
And this is
Think Deep.
Today we're coming to you talking about the crooked education system. We're talking the school curriculum that doesn't tell the full story and the unfair tasks students are asked to do.
An education system that continues to push the history of people of color even further down and will eventually kill it if we don't change it soon.
Little known fact, over a century ago, Carter G. Woodson and his colleagues created the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History.
They wrote several K-12 Black history textbooks, designed Black history home study courses for school-aged children, established a Black history teacher journal, and promoted Black History Month, all with the intentions to be the first few steps to integrating Black history into the K-12 curriculum.
However, the schools ignored their efforts and completely misrepresented Black history. A 1934 history textbook, for example, portrayed Black people as uncivilized, lazy, and accepting of being controlled or instruction, basically teaching kids that enslaving the African Americans was okay.
However, integrating Black history into the curriculum began to build momentum during the 1960s around the time of civil rights movement. But really, it stopped there. Black history only takes up to 8 to 9%, which is 1 to 2 lessons of history courses.
And that 8 to 9% is mainly either about how African Americans were enslaved in America or fighting for their civil rights. Even then, it's only basic or certain civil rights being taught.
Europeans bringing the slaves over to America, several stories of how they were sold, disrespected, and treated Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, or farther in time with Martin Luther King and his peaceful protest, or maybe Rosa Parks and her sit-down.
We're not saying these are bad things to learn about. Everybody should know these hard times and strong, brave movements. However, these times are not what we're all about. It's honestly so much more.
The same way we learn about white innovators every day in schools, such as presidents, generals, investors, businessmen, and leaders, there were Black ones too.
That's right, Kamari. There were many Black people that paved the way. Thomas L. Jennings, for example, born in 1791, was the first African American to receive a patent in the U.S. Mark E. Dean led the team that designed the ISA bus, the hardware interface that allows multiple devices like printers, modems, and keyboards to be plugged into the computer. Madam C.J. Walker paved the way for African American female hair. Charles Drew made the blood drive that saved countless lives. Wentworth Chaswell was an African American who made the same ride as Paul Revere. However, none of these significant people will receive their credit and won't be remembered. There's so much more out there to learn. Black history is not all about slavery. Eventually, if the word of our work is not spread, it could be forgotten. There's no reason to wait any longer. Something has got to change.
To prove our point, we interviewed 20